All right, everyone. Hello. Welcome to our virtual spotlight series. This week, we have Kate with Lost Range CBD out of the beautiful mountain town of Steamboat, Colorado. And I'm excited to really learn about this brand. It's a new up-and-coming brand out of Colorado, as I mentioned. And it really has some unique properties to it that I'm excited to learn more about. And so without further ado, I'm going to hand it on over to Kate to share the good
Thank
news.
you.
Yeah.
Holly, thank you so much for including us and setting this up and introducing us to, your people that you're connected with. This is a great opportunity for us. And so we're just happy to be involved. So, and I want to thank everybody else who, views this at one point or another for taking time out of your day we all have really busy lives. So it's just, thank you for joining us and learning a little bit about Lost Range. So I really like to kind of, any way that I start a conversation about us is who are we? So we are an all natural, handcrafted, small batch, high potency CBD company. As Holly mentioned, we are out of Steamboat Springs, Colorado. And primarily for me especially, and kind of our company as a general, like our mission is really to help people balance themselves, help people recover, help people heal. And we say a lot of times just in our own meetings in office and in the warehouse, plants over pills. And the more that we can bring people, some peace and balance and with the use of plants, we're excited about that. So, and in that mission, I think we find that there's a real common thread with the spa and wellness professionals. And so naturally, just in this organic way, we have created these beautiful partnerships because of that common thread. And, we're just glad to have the opportunity just to expand, the reach of other people where that, fits with them and their business model as well. So a lot of times, education is a huge piece for us with, directly to retail clients and also with our partners and especially with staff education. And so, one of the biggest pieces that we like to stress are just educating people on what are the characteristics and the elements that one should look for in their CBD vendor. If it's you haven't had one yet, you're just trying to decide because there's such a myriad of them, or if you're trying to compare this one to that one, and just some kind of core foundation elements I think are helpful. And just like briefly, the hemp testing, transparency and accessibility to those test results, testing on the final products, certificates of analysis. So just briefly on each of those bullet points, the hemp, the question is, where is it grown? How is it farmed? And this is super important because hemp as a plant, as a crop, is super absorbent. It's like a sponge and it gathers and sucks everything out of the soil. So if your soil isn't clean and your soil isn't pure, it's going to take all those toxins and impurities out of the soil, and in your end product you will have those elements. So our hemp is grown in Hotchkiss, Colorado, and it is farmed certified organically. So that's super important. So from that hemp, through the extraction process, our raw bulk CBD is then also tested, and it's put through a full panel testing for, first of all, just potency. What is the potency of the CBD? Microbials, mycotoxins, which is like bacteria, fungi, different sort of natural things that can occur in the soil. It's tested for heavy metals, pesticides, herbicides, terpenes, and just a lot of other impurities. And that's just the first wave of testing that we have done, or that is done. And super important for just knowing that all of our products that we're making is coming from a really clean source. And we've And Colorado, I mean, it's really important to mention that Colorado as a state is leading in testing requirements. And, these sorts of requirements we've done from the start. We began just over 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. And these are the kind of requirements that we put on ourselves before they were required by the state. And it's because, integrity is everything and cleanliness is everything when you're talking about products that you ingest every day and that you put on your body every single day. We want to be confident. We want everybody that uses our products and partners with us to be really confident. So hemp, you should be asking, where is it grown? How's it farmed, right? So the testing, if you're not familiar, is always done by a third-party laboratory. So, the extraction, where it's extracted, they send it to a third-party laboratory and nobody that they know, and they just say, this is what's in it and this is what isn't. And the same thing goes for testing all of our final products. So we take that raw CBD and, we make our muscle and joint rub, or we make our massage oils. And then each batch that we make, that we handcrafted small batch, because we don't use any additives or preservatives. So we like to keep it fresh. So and so the product that our partners are getting, or that our clients are getting, is fresh. And so we send off each batch, and those go through third-party laboratory testing, certificate of analysis, also called a COA. And, same thing there, tests our potency. Because that's one thing too, is that you see a lot of vendors will, maybe make something like, oh, we make a, 4,000 milligram, tincture. And you're like, okay, great. And then you get on there, and if you can find the certificate of analysis, sometimes the certificate analysis even shows that it doesn't have 4,000 milligrams in that quantity. If you do the math and you look at it, so it's also just, again, with the integrity of it, say what's in it is in it, and the potency that we say it is. And then also, very importantly, what we say isn't in it. So all of our topical products, our muscle and joint rubs, massage oils, anything that you put on your body or put your body in, are all isolates, which means, for those of you who are kind of like trying to figure it all out still, isolate means that there isn't any THC in that product whatsoever. So our third-party laboratory, when we send those isolate products, sends it back, and we have the certificate saying THC, it'll say ND, not detected or not detectable, or LOD, which is limit of detection, just meaning the same thing. And that's really important. I mean, there are people out there who have security clearance or certain kinds of jobs, or, commercial driver's licenses that, they want the relief, and they want to partake in the balance that CBD products can bring them, but they can't have any THC whatsoever. And this is just another layer of saying, you can trust that when we tell you that there's nothing in there, there's nothing in there. And we are slowly, with our labeling, coming into this, adding a QR code to every label, so that, it comes to you, you've got the QR code on the back. Your client who buys this product in your store can just scan it and say, yep, it's an isolate, and I feel really secure about that, So again, that's all part of like the transparency and the accessibility. So if you get on our website's super easy. You get on, you choose a product. Let's say you're like, okay, the gold buckle muscle and joint rub. Let me click on that. And then there's a link, details, and it takes you right to it. And there's another link that it's lab results. And you can see every certificate of analysis from every batch we've made. And that accessibility is something that you should find in your CBD vendor and your CBD provider. Should not be difficult to find, should be there, it should be easy, and because it's there for everybody's peace of mind, I think. So
Kate, are you okay with me sharing my screen with your website on it?
Yeah, absolutely. Would love that.
Cool.
Yeah. Our website is such a great resource. We have a beautiful blog, a link for the blog, and just tons of great articles and information. I mean, I get on there and I read some of them just to sort of make sure I'm as in the know as I should be, and any new kind of cutting edge things or applications that have come up that we've created has been really fun. Yeah, the blog is great, who we are. But yeah, you can click on the items, and it's just really, And yeah, we have great imagery. I mean, I love our packaging, all of it's great. So yeah, so we were talking about the isolates and the certificates of analysis. Another thing that's important with those certificates of analysis comes with, our full spectrum products as well, which our full spectrum products are only ingestible. So like we make a honey and we make tinctures, which typically, definitely reach out to me if you want to talk more about tinctures. A lot of our spa and wellness partners, it's kind of hit or miss. So we probably won't dive too deep into the tinctures, but one thing about the certificates of analysis and with the tinctures is that, with a full spectrum product, federally, legally, we cannot have more than 0.3% THC in any full spectrum product. And so, or it has to be less than. And so our certificate of analysis says that, you'll see the THC line and it'll say, detect what the detectable amount is, and it confirms that. And a lot of times the question that comes up there with like, well, okay, well, why even have that? And this is another like huge education piece that I'm sure that a lot of people are not aware of, is that every human creates cannabinoids just the same way that we create dopamine or serotonin neurotransmitters. And at the same rate, we have what is the word? We have an internal cannabinoid system that is their receptors specifically for cannabinoids and specifically for the uptake of them. So there's a small percent of the population that when you take a CBD, an external CBD product, so external meaning from the hemp plant rather than from your own body, when you consume an external cannabinoid, there's a percent of the population that just won't recognize it. It's like, that's not from me. So it really won't do you any good. It's difficult to know who that is. Unless you have some crazy like science, I don't know. I'm sure there's testing that you could get done on that, but like, who's going to do that? So it's said that tiny little bit of THC, also called the entourage effect, that kind of brings the cannabinoids in, and like your internal cannabinoid system recognizes it better with that little bit of THC. So it's just kind of like, I think of it as like when you're trying to get into the club, you're just better off getting in with a couple of your girlfriends than trying to get in by yourself. I'm thinking of like the roped off clubs where you have to look a certain way, it's like, you need your buddy THC to like get in and like to be received. So that's kind of like the analogy that I have with that entourage effect. But so that's the whole deal with that. That's why, so if you don't have any concerns, or if there isn't stigma with consuming a tiny fraction of a percent of THC, just always go with those full spectrum when you're internally using CBD, because it could mean the difference between it absorbing or not. Does that make sense? Okay, great. So yeah, just a brief recap on all that, and then we'll get to the fun part. What you're looking for, and I love to make these points because these are all things that matter to us, and that we take very seriously, that we think makes us a very integrous brand to work with. But it's the hemp. Where is it grown? How's it farmed? What kind of testing are you doing? How can I access the results of that testing? And just transparency is huge. So that's what we recommend, generally speaking, in talking about that. And there's so much more that a person can say with the education of all of that. And it's one of the big pieces that we love to offer to our partners, is just elevating the education for everyone involved. If that's spa attendants, if it's your MTs, your estheticians, whoever, everyone. We love to do training sessions. So more to come on that. So yeah, the fun part, let's just talk about our like flagship products, the best, kind of a shortened bit on the lineup that we have. I mentioned earlier that we, for the most part, focus on body products. We do have tinctures. And again, like if that's a great fit for you and your business model and like what, because I do have some wellness partners who, you know, they don't necessarily do massage and things of that nature, but more of like laser treatments and whatnot. And there's a lot of interest in tinctures in that particular setting, whereas others not so much. So just you let me know. But the fun part, okay, our products. So number one, first product we ever made is the Lost Range muscle and joint rub. You know, this particular product is 500 milligrams per ounce. Not too long after we created this, and this 2-ounce container is 1,000 milligrams. Not too long after we created this, we created our higher potency, the Gold Buckall. This is 4,000 milligrams in a 2-ounce container, also 2,000 milligrams per ounce. So different potencies, exact same ingredients. And something to keep in mind that the number one base ingredient of all of our products is going to be organic. And again, no preservatives or additives, small batch, handmade. So, but the muscle and joint rub is, both of these are really great in the treatment room for spot enhancements. So, or if you, a lot of times, you know, in the mountains, we see a lot of like, you know, muscle recovery. People have been hiking and been really active, biking and all that all day. You know, it's a great accompaniment to like a recovery massage, a signature recovery massage, but also just great for spot treatment. If somebody has a specific point on their body, I love to have it, our muscle and joint rub applied to my spine, up and down the spine before they begin. And then I usually have like a cranial sacral treatment done. And so then I flip over on my back, and as that soaks in, we kind of do the cranial sacral. And then once I'm turning back over onto my front, you know, it's absorbed, I'm even more relaxed, and just the warming and cooling effect of it on your body is, it's deep, it's great. And I can't wait for everybody to try it, frankly. Also really great to use either of the muscle and joint rubs in conjunction with heat. So if that's coming out of a sauna, coming out of a steam room, hot stones, or even like a warm towel that's put on before, this just opens up your pores and it intensifies the already very apparent effects. So I strongly encourage everyone to, once they get their samples from me, that they, you know, take a hot shower and come on out and experience that. We have multiple sizes of all of our salves. So, you know, we have the 2-ounce, the 1-ounce, and then we have this like little like mini 10 gram. So there are options and sizes and, you know, options that way. But as far as the back bar, we have 12-ounce tubs that can be used for the muscle and joint rub. Moving right along, so also for enhancements, we make massage oil. Our massage oils are 120 milligrams per ounce. And so typically, I mean, depending upon the size of the person that you're working on, and like how much hair they have, you use about an ounce. So you're offering, I mean, typically you're offering about 120 milligram of an CBD enhancement per treatment if you're just using the massage oil. So we have a variety of aromas in that, eucalyptus, lavender, but of course we do unscented. The base ingredient of our massage oils is organic grapeseed. We do offer safflower, just because that is preferred in some scenarios, but typically it's just a grapeseed. A lot of people like that because it doesn't have any nut oils and doesn't have, you know, some people have allergies. But yeah, the massage oil is just a great, like any kind of signature treatment on your menu that you have. It can just be, hey, you want to upgrade that to a little, you know, massage oil? Yes, of course I do. What else? bath salts and bath bomb powder. I didn't bring any of that with me, but we have this wonderful product catalog that if you connect with me, I will send you a link to it. But we have bath salts and bath bomb powder that we, for the back bar, are great for like in a 16-ounce bag, and you can just do an ounce at a time. If you have tubs, for a soaking enhancement, both of them are 63 milligrams per ounce, which is pretty hefty. I don't think that you would need more than 2 ounces as an enhancement. We usually say like, hey, if you like a really salty bath, like use your Epsoms and use the less expensive stuff, and then use, an ounce or two of the bath bomb powder. Yeah, there you are, which only comes in lavender. But the salts, they come in eucalyptus, lemongrass, and lavender. So yeah, those are kind of 16-ounce bags, right? Yeah. And this is really helpful. Thank you, Holly. But yeah, big 16-ounce bags that you could just be using, both of them are also great for if you do like reflexology or foot soak treatments, that you can add that to the soaking water, or for those of you out there who do pedicures, great addition for pedicures. And just, honestly, both of those products, the salts and the bath bomb powder wholesale cost about $2 an ounce. So you can just imagine, the revenue that can really be made there and creating this awesome enhancement for your client's experience. In talking, just mentioning like the reflexology, but I know a lot of spas have just like a foot soak or a reflexology or foot rub treatment. Same with those muscle and joint rubs. It's a great little enhancement. You have all those pores on the bottoms of your feet. And I mean, I can tell you nearly every night I put muscle and joint rub on the soles of my feet. And it's just, I believe it really helps my sound sleep. That and the honey, which, moving right along to that, we just came out with our full spectrum honey. Yeah, there it is at the bottom. Beautiful. It's one size at this point and one potency. It's 1,000 milligrams in that whole jar. It's a 10.5-ounce jar, which breaks down to 15 milligrams of CBD in a teaspoon and about 45 in a tablespoon. I bring this up in the realm of like treatment enhancement, because I think, I would love when I walked in for my treatment to massage, have either maybe a small, cool, refreshing water or sparkling beverage or something with citrus in it, and I know the tricks of how to get that incorporated into a cold beverage, or in the winter months, that you just have like a nice warm cup of tea and have that, and by the time you're halfway through that massage, they are feeling it. They are relaxed. They are very calm. At least I am. That's what I'm saying. So, and I guess for the estheticians out there, some of the honey can be really soothing for some of those more abrasive facial treatments. And then with the high potency CBD, it could be just like a really great like finisher for calming before you send them out the door. So those are kind of like the what I want to highlight as great back bar treatment enhancements. Of course, if you're using any of these products within your treatment room, you want to put them on the shelf because they will sell. Our muscle and joint rub, any and all of the sizes sell great. But some of the things that kind of just really shine if you're just doing retail, our lip balm. We have 2 different flavors. We have natural, and then the yellow and brown one is the honey vanilla. And it's got a little bit of zinc in there. So it kind of has a natural SPF, which is just great in the mountain regions. I carry mine with me everywhere. It's with me when I ski. It's with me when I hike, all of that. And really, we put it in this really large tube because, our whole company started with a couple of friends who were just really active mountain climbers, rafters, fly fisher people. And, it's nice to have this because when I'm out skiing, I'm like, oh man, the sun just came out. I can put it on my nose and it's got that little bit of zinc just on the areas that are, just a way to kind of refreshen up that sun protection. So those sell really well retail. We also do all of our massage oils in a roller. It's a pulse roller. So all of our scented massage oils coming out, it's just got like a little ball roller on top. Yeah, eucalyptus, lavender. This is a really, I mean, obviously sells well. People just grab it with their hand and then they can use it on their, pulse points. Some just like for a little aromatherapy, I use my lavender one on my chest at night before bed. But I've also spoken with people who've had like wrist injuries, and it's just like a really nice way to kind of, take their CBD and be able to apply it frequently throughout the day. Anyway, they sell well in retail for sure. Our skin salve, which we didn't really get into, is the third salve that we make. And honestly, it's the most versatile product that we have. I mean, we've had clients come to us and say, I've been trying so many things for my eczema or so many things for my psoriasis, and this is the only thing that's worked. I have a girlfriend who's used it on her baby's diaper rash because, again, it's isolate. There's no THC. There's no concern there. I use it. I get weird spots of skin on my forehead. It works. I don't know. It's really a magical product. And for, again, like with the estheticians out there, I think it could be a really great product for them on their retail shelf, that people have scars and they have tattoos, great for those, ingrown hair, sunburn. And miraculously, it's so good on bug bites. It's got to be the anti-inflammatory ingredients. I mean, we have this whole blend that we use. So something of that nature. And then with back to the bath salts and the bath bomb powder, we have 4-ounce little satchels of those. And those sell really great retail, and also travel really, really well for those of you who are like, spa, resort spas where, everybody's in from someplace else. Great gift, options, little 4-ounce bags. And and then our massage oil, we do have gallons that can go in the back bar, but out in retail, it's so great just to have these little 1-ounce bottles. We also have 4-ounce glass bottles, and then the 12-ounce plastic bottles. So just a lot of different variety there. Soaps are soon to come. We're almost finalized on the packaging there. We're really excited for that. So just again, we're all natural, handmade, handcrafted, small batch, high potency. We think the potency makes a difference. And, according to everybody who uses our products daily and sees the results, they agree. So, yeah, that's us. We're just here to help people recover and balance and find other partners out there that are trying to do the same. And for anyone who, connects with me, via email or whatnot, you could go through the info and just ask to talk to Kate. And I meant to introduce myself. Kate, I'm the national sales director for Lost Range. I think I skipped over that, but yeah, I can send out any free sample packs. Anybody's interested. Anyone who learns from us here or through Holly will give you 10% off on your first wholesale order for sure. And I would love to, I'm telling you, this product catalog it's really in-depth, super detailed, every product of ours, every ingredient, suggested uses, every size that we make, and wholesale and retail, suggested retail pricing. So I'd love to send you a link to that for you just to look over it more and answer any questions that anybody might have, That's what I have. I just thank you everybody for listening, even just to a little bit about Lost Range. We're excited.
Yeah, this was awesome. I mean, I really enjoyed how in depth you got, certainly at the outset, and really talked about, what differentiates you from perhaps other CBD brands that are out there. But most importantly, you take a lot of pride in what your company does to ensure that the product that you're creating is, ethical and potent. So I think that was super helpful to anyone who's interested in, exploring CBD either for the first time or exploring, other brands and learning more. Again, Kate offered 10% off your opening orders. and certainly reach out to her. Of course, contact information here posted is general information and contact, but her email address is super easy. It's kate@lostrangecbd.com. So from the email addresses that are posted here, just take off or change the first half to Kate, Kate.
Yes, thank you.
Anything else you want to share with us and or say before we wrap things up for the day? This was great. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, you're doll. Thank you for
Yeah.
having me.
Yeah.
No, it's just, this is a fun experience, and I really just hope I just meet a few new people that are, interested in learning more, and just all I want is for people to just try the products. I will send you whatever you are interested in, and you can test it, and then, you can make the decision if it's going to fit for you, but mostly it works out well.
Yeah. I will say I'm a fan. You have so graciously provided some products to the Rocky Mountain Spa and Wellness Association, and I will tell you, I literally carry my big stick of lip balm everywhere. I put it on at night. But you know what? I'm so glad you mentioned that, and because it was a reminder to me that it has that little bit of zinc in it. So now I know, really, like, just to your point, when I'm out for that bike ride, even at 5 p.m., you just never know. And so I can put a little bit on the nose, maybe a little on the top of the ears of my, well, I should be wearing a I am covering my head. I have protection, so I'm safe. I'm out for a mountain bike ride. But yeah, no, that was a really good tip, and thanks for the reminder, because I'm definitely
Yeah, you bet, Holly. Thank you.
awesome. All right. Well, without further ado or anything else, Kate, thank you again so much for presenting today and sharing with our membership and sort of fans across social media about Lost Range CBD. And we very much wish the most success to you and the company. And again, if anyone has any questions or want to reach out, it's Kate, Kate, @lostrangecbd.com. You can certainly reach out to me as well, and I can make the connection for you if that's a little bit easier. Have a great week, everyone, and we will see you again next time.